else?
The judge, you want just Mr. Gonzalez to stand up or everybody?
Everybody.
All right, everyone stand up. The judge, you want just Mr. Gonzalez to stand up?
So I am going to go through the script and then we'll start with Mr. Gonzalez. And he's charged with driving with no license. So his first appearance should go pretty quickly. Good morning, everyone. This is your first, Ms. Fitzgerald.
Yes.
You swear affirm that you will, to the best of your knowledge, skill, and training, interpret these proceedings from English, Spanish, Spanish to English.
I swear, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
Buenos días. Esta es su primera audiencia en frente del juez del condado de Clayton.
My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court.
Mi nombre es Brett Gardner y soy su juez en este tribunal.
I'm here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you,
Estoy aquí solamente para informarle de los cargos que usted tiene en su contra,
to advise you of certain rights,
decirle cuáles son sus derechos,
to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail,
imponerle fianza en los cargos que usted tenga que yo pueda imponerle fianza,
to schedule a preliminary hearing,
darle una cita a futuro para una audiencia preliminar,
and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney.
y para determinar si usted realmente necesita la ayuda de un abogado.
You have the right to remain silent and say nothing.
Usted tiene derecho a mantenerse en silencio y no decir nada.
But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you.
Pero si usted renuncia a ese derecho, todo lo que usted diga puede ser usado en su contra en otras audiencias judicial.
So please don't discuss the facts of your case.
Así que por favor no me diga nada de los hechos ocurridos.
During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights:
Usted tiene todos estos derechos hoy y en las próximas audiencias que tenga.
to the presumption of innocence,
Presunción de inocencia,
to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors,
que le hagan una acusación formal a través de un gran jurado o a través de una acusación formal sin jurado en cuanto a sus cargos.
to a speedy and public trial by jury,
A un juicio rápido frente a un jurado,
to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you,
usted tiene derecho a hacerle preguntas a los testigos que vinieran a testificar en su contra,
to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf,
a obligar al tribunal a traer testigos y evidencias en su favor,
to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense,
dar su propio testimonio o traer evidencias a favor,
and to have an attorney represent you if you qualify.
o también tener,
And to have an attorney represent you.
y tener un abogado que lo represente.
If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify.
Si usted no tiene dinero para contratar un abogado, aquí, si usted califica, le pondríamos un abogado gratuito del tribunal.
Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail.
Algunos de ustedes van a poder pagar la fianza sin restricciones para poder salir del tribunal.
These bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property.
Para pagar la fianza, usted lo puede hacer en dinero en efectivo, a través de un negocio o con una propiedad.
Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from going, strike that. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places.
Algunos de ustedes van a tener una fianza especial con restricciones que le van a prohibir tener contacto con ciertas personas o ir a ciertos lugares.
You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail.
Usted también va a tener prohibido contactarse con la víctima mientras usted esté en la cárcel.
If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you can remain in jail until your trial.
Si usted violara alguna de estas restricciones, usted perdería la fianza y tendría que quedarse en la cárcel hasta la próxima audiencia.
You could also receive additional felony charges.
Y además podría recibir más cargos en su contra de tipo de cargo mayor o felonía.
It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim, in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond.
Es importante que sepa que si hay una víctima en su caso, esa persona no puede venir a pagar su fianza.
Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail.
Algunos de ustedes tienen cargos en su contra en los cuales yo no puedo imponer fianza.
In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date.
En ese caso, ustedes van a tener otra audiencia en frente de un juez del Tribunal Superior y se les va a dejar saber cuándo va a ser esa audiencia.
If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time.
Si usted está ahorita bajo libertad condicional o probatoria, yo tampoco le puedo imponer fianza hoy.
Where the bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest.
Si ese fuera el caso, la fianza se impondría después de tener una audiencia frente al juez y a su oficial de libertad condicional o probatoria.
The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you.
La audiencia preliminar es solamente para determinar si hay suficientes bases o hechos que confirmen el encarcelamiento.
The standard at this stage is very low.
El estándar para probar esto es muy bajo en la audiencia preliminar.
A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred.
En esa audiencia, un juez solamente tiene que determinar si había causa probable para que usted lo acusaran de los cargos que tiene en su contra.
Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing.
Usted puede renunciar a esa audiencia futura preliminar si así lo desea.
However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing.
Pero le convendría quizás hablar con un abogado primero para ver si es conveniente renunciar a esa audiencia o no.
If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived.
Si usted paga fianza hoy y sale de la cárcel, esa audiencia preliminar se cancela automáticamente.
You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date.
Y le vamos a mandar por correo a la dirección que usted nos dejó para dejarle saber cuándo va a ser su próxima audiencia frente al juez.
Lastly, I need everyone to raise their right hand.
Ahora, para terminar, todos levanten la mano derecha.
Do you swear or affirm that any statements you make during this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Usted jura que todo lo que va a decir hoy, todo el testimonio que va a dar hoy va a ser la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad, lo jura por Dios.
Okay, let's
It got
start.
frozen. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Señor González. Yes,
Okay.
it got frozen for a second.
Okay, let's start with Mr. Gonzalez and then we'll switch over to the ladies' side.
Ok, señor González, vamos a hacer usted primero.
Mr.
It got frozen again.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
There we go.
okay. Mr. Gonzalez, sir, can you hear and understand the interpreter?
Señor González, ¿usted está escuchando y entendiendo bien a la intérprete?
Sí.
Yes.
Sir, you're charged with 1 count of driving a vehicle without a license.
Señor, usted solamente tiene un cargo en su contra de manejar sin licencia.
Sí.
Yes.
The bond for that offense is set by schedule, which means it's automatically set at $1,000.
La fianza es automática, es de $1,000.
Okay.
Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
¿Usted cree que va a poder pagar?
Ayer cuando me dieron el bol, me llamé a un familiar y me dijo que venía a pagar ayer mismo. No sé ahora si ya lo pagó o no.
Yesterday they said the bill and I called a family member and they told me that they were coming right away. So I don't know if they pay or not.
They may have set your bond.
Quizás le pusieron la fianza ayer.
The process of pulling everyone together for first appearance starts very early.
Este proceso de la audiencia de hoy que acabamos de tener empieza bien tempranito a la mañana.
So it's very likely that your bond has been paid, and when you leave this proceeding, they're gonna knock on the door and let you know that you're free to go.
Entonces, cuando terminemos aquí, quizás cuando se vaya ahorita le digan que ya pagó o su familia pagó y ya se pueda ir.
Okay.
Ok.
While you're here, do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
¿Usted quiere ver si califica para que le pongan el abogado gratuito del tribunal?
Sí.
Yes.
Are you currently working, sir?
¿Está trabajando?
Justamente había empezado el día que me agarraron a trabajar.
I just started the day that they stopped me.
Okay. About how much were you supposed to be paid per hour?
¿Cuánto se suponía que le iban a pagar por hora?
Trabajaría por salario.
It was a salary. It was supposed to be a salary.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, Mr. Gonzalez. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Ok, usted califica para el abogado gratuito.
Okay, gracias.
Thank you.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for September 28th at 8:30 in the morning.
Usted va a tener una audiencia preliminar el día 28 de septiembre a las 8:30 de la mañana.
That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll receive a new court date in the mail.
Pero si usted sale hoy de la cárcel, si pagan la fianza, esa audiencia se cancela y le vamos a mandar a su dirección una carta donde diga cuándo va a ser su próxima audiencia. Oh, it got muted.
Okay.
Okay. ¿Entiende?
Yes.
Yes, he understood.
Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. Gonzalez.
Ok, ya se puede ir. Suerte.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay,
Thank
Your Honor.
you, Miss
I'll let-
Fitzgerald. Have
You're
a
welcome,
good
Your Honor.
day at your
Thank you,
next,
too.
your next stop.
Yes, superior.
Yes.
Bye.
All right, let's switch over to the ladies' side.
First, we're gonna have Miss Garrett.
Okay.
This is Miss Garrett.
Miss Garrett, you're charged with aggravated assault by strangulation, battery, and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. You did not appear to have an extensive criminal history. I don't know what led to this incident. So I'm setting bond on the aggravated assault charge, but it's going to be set at $20,000. There's going to be a $5,000 bond set on the battery and a $3,000 bond set on the cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. So you're going to have a total bond set at $28,000. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Tamika Wilder. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 29th at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Sure.
All right, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Yeah, let's see. Next would have been Johnson Jada, but she bonded out.
Okay,
Next, we have Johnson Nelson.
Okay.
Good morning.
Okay, man. Good morning. You charged one count of giving a false name, address, or date of birth. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? I'm sorry.
Will be like a cash only bond?
No, ma'am. It's cash, commercial, or property. So you can post the whole amount cash. You can go through a bonding company and pay about 10%. Or you can, if you have property that has a value of at least 3 times the bond amount, you can use that property to secure your bond.
Okay, yes, I think I can.
Okay.
Remember posting.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for,
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
give me 1 second, sir. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 28th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, please.
Okay. You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're free to go back. Sir, can you tell me who you're representing?
Good morning, Judge. This is Attorney Hillman Toombs. I represent Terrence Gaskin.
Okay. What I'll do, I have one more lady to go, and then we'll bring Mr. Gaskins up as the next person. Okay.
Thank you.
Girl,
Yes, sir.
it's your turn. You gotta come up here.
Okay. So Crystal Ray.
She's coming up.
Okay.
All right, just stand right there for me. This is Miss
Ma'am,
Ray.
Ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of terroristic threats or acts. I've set the bond at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Nope.
Let me ask you this, ma'am. And you don't have to answer this question, but what was causing all of this stuff?
Because they need maintenance over there at the house. They need repairment done to the apartment. And I didn't want to move in the apartment. My mama sent me down there from Rome. I did just come from Cedartown or Rome, Northwest, YDC, the old YDC. Just left my mama's maintenance, her mansion house. Then come to another one, and it was nasty. All 1, 2, 3. It's filthy and filthy people in there. I didn't want to be around. They was on drugs and in the apartment complex. Bunch of ungodliness was going on. And I could just see I couldn't stay there and live there for $550 and not be free. Do what I want to do. They were doing drugs, why can't I do drugs? If they're selling drugs, why can't I be selling drugs and doing drugs? Ain't no different than them sitting in the apartment complex selling dope and doing dope in the house and doing drugs than anybody else in the house.
Okay, can I stop you, Miss Ray, can I stop you for a second? The reason I asked that question is it's enough here to arrest you, but it just seemed as though this was a situation where,
I can arrest me when I didn't do nothing wrong.
ma'am,
I can
Ma'am.
arrest me when I didn't do nothing wrong.
ma'am,
Let him finish.
the charge that you're charged with is terroristic threats or acts.
What was the terrorist arrest about?
Ma'am, let him finish.
Okay, ma'am,
Well,
I was
this
trying,
service is
ma'am,
just like-
look, ma'am, I'm gonna stop right here. I was trying to help you out. I was trying to reduce your bond. I was trying to figure out what was going on. But I see now why you got arrested. All right. So she has chosen to exit herself from this. So we're done with her.
Yes, Your
And
Honor.
it appears we're done with the lady side. Is that?
We have one more. It's gonna be Shackle Ford Amir.
Oh, okay.
We actually have her CAA form down here. There's miscommunication on it, but she's here present.
No, that's fine. I think on my paperwork, she was listed as a male.
It's a female.
Yeah. No. I believe you. I have seen it a number of times. Nope, that was my fault. She's listed as a female. Miss Shackelford. Okay, ma'am, you've been charged with 1 count of interference with government property, 2 counts of obstructing an officer, and 1 count of disorderly conduct. You're gonna have a total bond set at $10,500. Do you believe you can?
$10,500?
Yes, ma'am. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
Okay, your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 29th. And I'm sorry, I was getting a message. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 29th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon the binding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry, I got to pull this from a different form. Oh, it said you got the form there. So are you currently working, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
About how much do you make per hour?
$18 an hour.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir, that's it. Do I have
Okay.
any conditions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Your Honor, that's gonna be all the females.
Okay, let's switch over to the male side and let's pull up Mr. Did you say Garrett?
Gaskin, Judge, Terrence Gaskin.
Gaskin. Okay.
My name Hillman Toombs.
Hillman Toombs.
Yes, sir.
I think I've met you before.
Yeah, we've had something before. We had something together before.
My mother's maiden name is Toombs.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's an unusual name.
Out of the southwest part of the state.
Yeah, that's where my folks come from, South Georgia.
We may be related. I'll reach out to you.
Well, thank you.
So, Mr. Gaskin, he's been charged with 1 count of robbery. Mr. Gaskin, sir, let me caution you. Anything you say during this proceeding is not privileged or private. So don't say anything that you would not want the whole world to know, okay? I would normally address you, but you've taken advantage of the opportunity to hire a lawyer. So I'm going to address your lawyer, okay? So, Mr. Toombs, I have preliminarily denied Mr. Gaskin bond, but I will hear from you.
Judge, the alleged victim in this case is Mr. Gaskin's baby's mother, and they've lived together for quite some time now, for several years. She was intoxicated, and he was attempting to keep her from driving while she was too drunk to drive. And he had her keys, and he wouldn't give her the keys. And she called the police, and he got arrested. And that was pretty much what happened. And she was just too intoxicated to drive, and he didn't want her to get in trouble or hurt somebody out there trying to drive, being intoxicated. He's a lifelong resident of Georgia, and he's 45 years of age, and he will appear for court. He's not going anywhere. I've known him for quite some time. He will appear for court.
Okay. So what I'll do is this. I'll grant Mr. Gaskin a $5,000 bond, but I'm gonna place a stay away provision on this bond.
Okay.
And Mr. Gaskin, I think is to your benefit to stay away from this person if what Mr. Toombs has told me is correct. Sometimes I have the discussion where I'm doing you a favor when I place a stay away provision. Because if you're around somebody that's going to call the police based upon what Mr. Toombs has alleged, you're going to face a lifetime of the risk of going in and out of jail. And you may not want to do that. You're, of course, free to do that. That's how you want to live your life. But try to stay away from people that will get you arrested when you're trying to help them out. So there's going to be a stay away provision to stay away from a Taylor Dungy. Do you understand that? There's going to be a preliminary hearing date that is going to be set for September 27th at, September 29th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon Mr. Gaskin bonding out, and you will receive a new court date in the mail. Are there any questions?
No, sir, I totally understand.
Okay. Mr. Toombs?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you. That's all I have. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Have a good day. Mr.
Thank you.
Gaskin,
You too.
you're free to go back.
Okay, thank you.
Mr.
Okay.
Bivens. No, you can go back.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to go on. All right.
Mr. Bivens, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, 1 count of battery. I've set a total bond at $8,000, $3,000 for the criminal trespass, $5,000 for the battery. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
No, sir.
Okay. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Sabrina McNeil. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
All right, you're free to go back.
Gardner.
Mr. Bowden, sir, you're charged with 1 count of theft by shoplifting, 1 count of possession of drug-related objects, and 1 count of obstructing an officer. There's going to be a $2,000 bond set on the theft by shoplifting, $1,500 bond set on the drug-related objects, and $2,000 bond on obstructing an officer. So you're going to have a total bond of $5,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Can, you got me, sir? Yeah, more than likely, yes, sir.
I did not understand any words you said.
He said yes, Your Honor. He said yes.
Okay. Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 28th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah,
Are you currently working, Mr. Bowden?
yes,
How much do you make per hour?
they pay by the job.
About how much do you estimate that you make in a month?
I make about $150 a day. $150 times 30.
So is that $3,000 a month?
I mean, probably that's if I work every day, but whenever I work, it's $150 a day.
Mr. Bowden, you're making this difficult. I don't know your life. When I say give me an estimate of how much you make per month, you tell me you make $150 a day. When I ask you, is that $3,000 a month? It's like, well, it depends on how many days I work.
That's gonna be difficult, yeah, 3,000.
Okay, thank you. You qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. See how easy that is? You're free to go back.
Mr. Cross.
Mr. Cross, sir, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass, damage to property. Your bond's gonna be set at $2,000. You believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond, stay away from a Sage Truth and a Linda Miller. Do you understand that?
Yep.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 28th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Sir.
You said yes.
Yes, sir.
How much do you make per hour?
About $20 an hour.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
All right, you're free to go back.
Mr. Calloway?
Mr. Calloway, sir, you're charged with one count of loitering or prowling, one count of entering in an automobile, and one count of possession of tools in the commission of a crime. You're gonna have $1,000 bond set on the loitering or prowling charge. There's gonna be a $10,000 bond set on the entering auto charge. There's gonna be a $5,000 bond set on possession of tools in the commission of a crime for a total bond of $16,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir? I'm sorry.
No, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 29th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived if you are able to bond out, and you'll get a new court date. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Are you currently working?
No, sir. I have recently went in for an interview, and they said they would contact me.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify. Do you have any questions for me?
I was recently, earlier that day, I had got arrested. I was using those tools to fix a door in my house.
Do not discuss your case.
Yeah, please don't. Speak to your lawyer before you say anything about the facts of your case. Okay?
Have any questions? If not, you can go back.
That's fine.
All right, go back.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Your Honor, the next person on the calendar is Mr. Campos, but he's a fugitive. Do you want him last?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Ketchum?
Sir, you're charged with one count of battery, one count of driving on a suspended license, and one count of driving vehicle with no insurance. Your bond is going to be set at $5,000 for the battery. Your bond is going to be set at $1,500 for the driving without I'm driving on a suspended license, and $1,000 for driving with no insurance. So you're going to have a total bond set at $7,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from an Elena Thompson Ballard. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 28th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Cantron, or is it Cantron or Catron?
It's Cutron, sir.
Cutron. Mr. Cutron, you do qualify for the appointment of lawyer. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Mr. Crutchfield?
Mr. Crutchfield.
Yes, sir.
So you're charged one count of aggravated assault, one count of battery. I'm denying bond on the aggravated assault charge at this time because the allegation is that you used a knife to cut the victim, who is Shauna Hayes. I'm going to set a $5,000 bond on the battery charge. I'm going to place a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Ms. Hayes. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for September 29th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you have any questions for me? Well, I'm also going to set a bond hearing date for, October 1st. Do you have any? Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. How much do you make per hour or per month?
I make about $3,000.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir. No, sir.
All right. Okay, you're free to go back.
Mr. Dion?
Hold on one second. I see we have the camera up. Is that for Mr. What is it? Hold on. Is that up for Mr. Tucker?
No, Tucker is back in the regular courtroom over there. This is for Mr. Jackson.
Okay. Is that the only person you have over there?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Jackson.
Okay, let me do Mr. Jackson so we can deal with them and then we'll come back over.
Thank you.
All right, here, Mr. Jackson.
Okay, you are Mr. Is it Jaquez?
Jackson, yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Jackson, you've been charged with 1 count of terroristic threats or acts, 1 count of simple battery on a police officer, 1 count of obstructing an officer, and 1 count of simple assault. I've set a total bond at $13,000. You believe you can pay that, sir?
I can get my fault. How? That's too much. That's a lot.
Okay.
I said it's a lot.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for September 29th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your ability to bond out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you currently working, Mr. Jackson?
No, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Can I ask you something, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
I already had a lawyer. Her name was Alicia, but she came to see me like 2 days ago. How they gonna switch my lawyer?
According to this, you got arrested yesterday on these charges.
These charges.
So are you saying you have an appointed lawyer already?
Yes, sir. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, and does the lawyer work for the public defender's office or does she work? Okay, so what I'll do is, you said her name was Alicia.
Alicia, yeah, Alicia. No last name. She didn't tell me her last. She said her name Alicia.
Okay, I'm gonna make a notation for Miss Alicia to be notified that you have these new charges so she can represent you, okay?
All right.
All right, you're free to go back, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, let's switch back over to the mail side. Were we with Mr. Diao?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Sir, you're charged with 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, 1 count of having a controlled substance which I think the first time I've seen this, in a drug-free commercial area, and use or possession of drug-related objects. Your total bond is going to be set at $8,000. You believe you can post that bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for September 29th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you have your own lawyer or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I guess I'll take the appointment of a lawyer until.
Okay. All right, you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I was just wondering, is there any way the preliminary hearing can be earlier than the 29th? Please, I got a 4-year-old unattended right now. Hold on.
So the court dates, because of the whole COVID situation, these court dates normally would be probably no more than 10 days out. But because everything is shut down, we're trying to bring everything back, these dates are now 6 to 7 weeks out. So the short answer is no. So if you're trying to resolve your case, or you're trying to do anything related to your case, you can, through your lawyer, contact the district attorney's office. And then if there's stuff by agreement, that can happen all of the time where this can get moved, but it'll have to be by agreement. Okay. All right. You're free to go back, sir. You're welcome. You are Mr. Trey Douglas?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you're charged with 1 count of theft by receiving stolen property and 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. So you're gonna have a $10,000 bond on the theft by receiving property charge. And you're gonna have a $1,500 bond on the possession of marijuana less than an ounce. So that's a total bond of $11,500. You believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
I wasn't really expecting it to be that high.
Sir, it's a yes or a no.
I just want to, because my people coming from South Carolina, so I don't know. I'm thinking I can, man. I'm really thinking I can, but you know. Yes, sir.
Okay, so, and I'll circle back to that in a minute. So your preliminary hearing date is gonna be set for September 29th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your ability to bond out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm gonna find that you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now, the reason that the bond is at $10,000 is that you were in possession of a vehicle that the value was $30,000. So, I mean, it's like when you say it's high, the person that didn't have possession of that vehicle, they obviously thought that that vehicle meant something to them.
Yes, sir.
So that based upon the allegation, and you're presumed innocent right now, but that's why the bond is where it is. Because if people just could go and take $30,000 vehicles and they get a OR bond or they get a $500 bond, you know what people are gonna be doing? They're gonna be taking every vehicle they can take. They're gonna be doing whatever they want to do with it. They're gonna be doing all of that kind of stuff. So you're presumed innocent, sir, but that's the reason the bond is where it is.
Word.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. You're free to go back, Mr. Douglas.
Mr. Edwards?
Mr. Edwards, sir, you're charged with 1 count of simple battery. I set the bond at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Bianca Jones. You understand that? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 28th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon the bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? All right, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me? Okay, you're free to go back.
Your
Okay, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. You believe you can make that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Thelma Banks. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 28th at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You're on the edge, sir, but I'm going to find that you qualify. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir, thank you.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Freeman,
Me, Fleming.
You are Mr. Fleeman, correct? Sir, you're charged with one count. Says given inmate gun, alcohol, or drugs, where the allegation is that you possess methamphetamine while you were in the Clayton County Prison. I'm going to set the bond at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 29th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived if you are out of custody at that time. Do you currently have a lawyer?
No.
Okay. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you. Mr. Fleming.
Mr. Fleming, sir, you're charged with one count of driving a vehicle on a suspended license. Your bond is going to be set at $1,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 28th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, free to go back.
Mr. Franklin.
Mr. Franklin, sir, you're charged with one count of terroristic threats or acts and one count of simple assault. I've set a $5,000 bond on terroristic threats or acts charge and a $3,000 bond on the simple assault. That's a total bond of $8,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
No, not right now, sir.
Okay, there's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from an Emera Boykin. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 28th at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your ability to bond out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, free to go back, sir.
Okay, sir.
Mr. Fields.
Mr. Fuse, sir, you're charged with one count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. The bond is set by schedule, which means it's automatically set at $1,500. There are fines and fees that are added to this, or fees that are added. So it'll be a little bit higher than $1,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 28th at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your ability to bond out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, Mr. Fuse. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Mr. Ray. How you doing, sorry?
I'm doing well, sir. You're charged with a number of driving related offenses and one count of possession of a controlled substance. Your bond is going to be set at $500 for the window tint violation, $1,500 for the possession of marijuana less than an ounce, $3,000 for the violation Georgia Controlled Substance Act, $500 for the violation or having an expired tag, $1,000 for driving a vehicle without insurance, $1,500 for driving on a suspended license, and $500 for concealing the identity of a vehicle. So your total bond is going to be set $8,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir, Mr. Honor.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 29th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir, Mr. Honor.
I'm sorry, did you say yes?
Yes, sir. Sorry about that.
Okay. You do qualify, sir, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir, Mr. Honor. Thank you.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Mr. Harris?
Sorry, I got to get myself situated. Okay, Mr. Harris. Sir, you're charged with one count of failing to register. I set the bond at $10,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 29th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hamilton?
Mr. Hamilton, sir, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass, damage to property. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Valerie Hamilton. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 28th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me? Okay, free to go back.
Yeah, I do.
I'm sorry, what's your question?
The address was supposed to be, my mail is supposed to be sent at that address, so how do I change that?
Do a change of address. And you may want to do it both with the court and with the postal service, so that you can go to the local post office and put a change of address form in to have your mail forwarded from the address that you're at now to whatever address you're going to be staying.
Okay.
Okay? All right, sir. You're free to go back.
Mr. Manning?
Mr. Manning, sir, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. You believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Shatari Bivens. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 28th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? Okay, you're free to go back.
Mr. McGee?
Mr. McGee, sir, you're charged with one count of theft by taking, one count of simple assault, and one count of battery. You're going to have a $2,000 bond on theft by taking, $3,000 bond on simple assault, and a $5,000 bond on the battery. That's going to give you a total bond of $10,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? You're going to have a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from an Irvin McMullen. Do you understand that? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 28th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay, you do qualify, sir. I am going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? Okay, you're free to go back.
Mr. Manson?
Mr. Minton, sir, you've been charged with a number of offenses: criminal damage to property in the second degree, cruelty to children in the second degree, 3 counts. I'm denying bond on the criminal damage to property. I'm setting a $2,000 bond each on the cruelty to children in the second degree to leave a $6,000 bond for that. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Takenya Minton. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for September 29th at 8:30 in the morning. You're going to also have a bond hearing date that's going to be set for October 1st. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently working?
Yes, sir.
About how much do you make per hour or per month?
I think about 3,000.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? Okay, you're free to go back.
Mr. Montgomery? How you doing, y'all?
I'm doing well. How are you, sir? Relatively speaking, of course. You're charged with 1 count of family violence battery, 1 count of cruelty to children in 3rd degree. You're gonna have a total bond set at $8,000. That breaks down to $5,000 for the battery and $3,000 for the cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Nancy Malone. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 28th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. Let me ask you this one question. How much do you make per hour?
Well, on my own business, I made approximately about, let's say 15 an hour.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Just for my understanding, you said the bond will be set at what amount again?
So it's gonna be $8,000 set by me, but the sheriff's department is required by law to add a fee to the bonds. I don't have access to that fee schedule. So it's gonna be a little bit higher than 8,000, but it'll probably be between 8 and 9,000. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
you're welcome. Free to go back.
Thank you. Mr. Rochelle? How you doing, Your Honor?
I'm doing well. You are Mr. Rochelle. Is Mr. Phillips OTB?
Your Honor, I'll verify that. I think he is, but give me 1 second.
Okay, all right. We'll continue.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Phillips is out of bond.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Rochelle, sir, you're charged with 1 count of simple assault, 1 count of criminal trespass, and 1 count of obstructing an officer. There's going to be a $3,000 bond on simple assault, a $3,000 bond on the criminal trespass, and a $2,000 bond on the obstructing an officer. So that's going to be a total bond of $8,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir? There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for September 28th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
That's all
All right, you're free to go back.
Mr. Sir.
Mr. Short, sir, you're charged with 1 count of false imprisonment. And I'll take a moment to have a conversation with you about this. I set this bond at $30,000. This seems to be a weird set of circumstances. Am I to understand that the allegation is basically that Ms. Barber was inebriated and you were trying to restrain her for her safety?
Yes, sir. Loosely, it wasn't. Yes, sir.
Okay.
But, good.
Don't discuss the case.
What I'm gonna do, Mr. Short, is I'm gonna reduce this down to $10,000. The facts seem to be peculiar to me when I read them.
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Ms. Barber. And Mr. Short, you are like my parents' age. Like you could be my parents. You could be my father. Don't place yourself in a situation where you feel you have to do the things that are alleged in here, because it's just not, it's not going to be in your best interest. It's not going to turn out well for you, even though you may have had the best of intentions. It's not going to turn out well. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for September 29th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, Mr. Short. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me? Okay. Okay, you're free to go back, sir.
Right, Mr. Smith.
Good evening.
We're still in the afternoon, Mr. Smith.
Good afternoon.
I got stuff I gotta do at night. You trying to make me get out there and start humping. I become a parent after I get off the bench, and I'm a judge. Mr. Smith, sir, you're charged with 6 driving related offenses. Well, 2 drug related offenses and 4 driving related offenses. You're going to have a $500 bond set on the divided highway charge, $500 bond on the restricted travel of lanes charge, a $500 on a tinted window violation, $5,000 bond on possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, $1,500 for possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and $3,000 for violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. So that's going to be a total bond of, if my math is right, $11,000. Do you believe in post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for September 29th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna find that you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Have a good day.
Mr. Thomas?
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Thomas. Sir, you're charged with one count of battery. The bond is gonna be set at $5,000. You believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's gonna be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Chandria Weens. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, your preliminary hearing date is gonna be set for September 28th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, please do.
Okay. All right, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
I don't.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Did you say Todd? Mr. Todd, I dealt with you yesterday, correct?
Yes, I'll turn myself in and they put me on calendar.
Okay. So my understanding is that there were no additional charges, so you are free to go back.
Question. With
Yes, sir.
$1,000 bond, I was trying to postpone yesterday. I'm a few $100 short. I was thinking reduce it to 5,000.
I tell you what,
Yes, sir.
let's hold Mr. Todd to the end and we'll come back because I don't want to hold everybody else up while we're trying to address his issue.
Mr. Tucker?
Mr. Tucker, give me 1 second, sir. You're charged with one count of armed robbery. I'm not allowed to set bond on that offense at this stage. So bond is going to be denied. I'm going to deny bond on the possession of firearm during the commission of a crime and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and pointing a pistol at another. I'm going to allow the next judge to set that bond and consider that. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for September 29th at 8:30 in the morning. You're going to also have a bond hearing date set for October 1st. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Sir, I had one. I think she was supposed to be here today, but I had a seizure, so I had to go to medical. So I don't think he was able to get to the Zoom information or was able to attend because they said it was going to be set for tomorrow.
Who's your lawyer?
Ken Glenn.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Glenn.
I heard Glenn. What was the first name?
Ken, K-E-N.
Okay. And then the last word is Glenn. All right, let's hold Mr. Tucker. I'm gonna try to reach out to Mr. Glenn, and if he can get on, we'll deal with Mr. Tucker. If he can't, then we'll just continue his case until tomorrow.
Your Honor, Mr. Williams?
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. All right, I promise I'm not trying to give everybody extra work to do. You are Joseph Williams.
Correct.
Sir, you're charged with 1 count of window tint violation, 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce, 1 count of possession of firearm by a convicted felon, and 1 count of driving on a suspended license. You're gonna have a $500 bond on the window tint violation, a $1,500 bond on the possession of marijuana less than an ounce, a $10,000 bond on possession of firearm by a convicted felon, and $1,500 bond for driving on a suspended license. So that's a total bond of $13,500. Do you believe you can post that bond? I'm sorry, sir.
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for September 29th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you will get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay. You're on the upper end, but I'm going to find you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me? Okay, free to go back.
Hey, Your Honor, are you gonna take care of Mr. Campos now or Mr. Todd on Tucker?
Let's do Mr. Campos.
Campos, come on.
Mr. Campos, sir, you have the same rights that everyone else had, as I expressed earlier, but you're in sort of a different situation. You are considered a what they call a fugitive from justice, meaning that there is another state that has a warrant for your arrest, and they have indicated that they want to extradite you. And it looks like it's out of San Rafael, California, for evading a peace officer with reckless driving and DUI. There is a warrant for your arrest. Has anyone spoken to you about this whole process yet?
Not really. Yesterday, it was just processing and, ended up down to medical. That's where it all stopped. And next thing you know, I got court right now. So I knew that I had the warrants. It was nothing new, but so this is where I'm at right now.
Okay, so with these types of situations, you have the right to demand a hearing. And basically at that hearing, there'll be a determination as to whether you are the person named in the warrant and whether the warrant is valid. If those two conditions are met at the hearing, the judge will sign off on it, and you'll get, they will receive a notice that you have signed, that the judge has signed off on it. And now they have up to 60 days to come get you. You have up to 90 days to have the hearing on the first end. But then once the judge signs that, California will have up to 60 days to try to come and get you. It's initial 30-day period. If they don't come and get you, Clayton County Sheriff's Department will call and say, hey, are you coming to get this guy? And they'll say yes or no. Based upon what I see here, it may be, I don't know if they're gonna come and get you. Have you hired a lawyer out there to represent you?
I have an attorney out there. I have a civil rights attorney. She's also a criminal attorney, but she's working on another case out there for me. I haven't called her in jail yet, but she'll be more than glad to take the case. But if there's a bail right now, I can post it, whatever it is.
Well, see, and that's the thing. The bill will come from California, and that was going to be the thing that I was going to bring to your attention. Probably a month ago, there was a person who had a warrant out of Tampa, and the person signed a waiver, and they hired a lawyer down in Tampa, and the lawyer got a bond. And so all they had to do was send the information up here, and they sent it up here. And as far as I know, that person is out, because we're not holding you for anything in Clayton County. We're holding you for another jurisdiction. So if that other jurisdiction says, hey, he's posted a bond here, y'all can let him go, we're gonna let you go.
How about we do this? What's the max days from signing the paper today that they have that will force your hand to let me go?
60 days.
60, I thought it was 10 days.
Well, so statutorily, it's like 30 days. They can request an extension to the 30-day period. That'll make it 60 days. In practice, I've had situations where detectives from New York were here, and they were placing people on my calendar because the detectives were here ready to take that person that day, take him back. I can't tell you that it's 10 days because it's not. In practice, it may be 10 days. And so the people that are in the fugitive squad, fugitive division, all that kind of stuff, they may have a better understanding than I have. Because once, if you waive or you request a hearing, I most likely will never see you again. So I don't, keep track of the people and what's going on and all of that kind of stuff. So all I can tell you is what the statute says, if that makes any sense to you.
Right. So you're saying that by me signing the papers, it's waiving for a hearing, and then that basically gives me a total of, you said, of 30 days, within for them a possible extension of another 30. That's what you're saying? If I sign the paper?
Yes, if you were to sign the waiver today, the clock starts running today.
Right.
And then you said you have a lawyer out there in California. I would call that lawyer out there in California and say, hey, I've signed a waiver. I'm, now the clock is on them. That may allow your lawyer to have leverage to say, do y'all really want to spend the money to fly out to Georgia to pick him up on a DUI and this? Or are you willing to give us a reasonable bond so that he pays for himself to come out? Give us a reasonable bond in the court date. So all they got to do is agree to that. They don't have to spend money. They don't have to get overtime. They don't have to do any of that kind of stuff. The fact that you signed a waiver means that they know that wall is coming. If you were to say, hey, I'm gonna fight it, I want to have a hearing, they know, hey, we got 90 days to make that decision. And so we'll wait to the 89th day, or we'll wait to whenever. We'll wait until we're forced to have to come out to get them, to say, no, we don't want them. And the thing that happens that you have to realize is that if they don't come and get you, it doesn't make the warrant go away. So if you're released out the front door of the Clayton County Sheriff's Department, and then you were to encounter another law enforcement officer 5 minutes later, same process starts all over again, because there's still a warrant for your arrest. So they're duty bound to take you into custody.
I just want to say this for the record. The day I got pulled over and they ran my name, they made some phone calls to California, and they called the place, and they said that they did want to extradite me. So that's how this whole thing started. So I'm gonna sign the waiver, and I'm gonna contact my lawyer and just let her know what's going on. And
yeah, and what you should know is that sometimes the response that you get initially is the knee-jerk response. There's a warrant for his arrest. Do you want to extradite? it's like yes or no. You don't know if that person that's saying yes or no really cares, has interest in it. They're most likely going to say yes. But the person that your lawyer will be speaking to is the person that's going to have to deal with your case and deal with the issues and deal with the stuff. And so that's what I'm saying about placing your lawyer in a better position to negotiate on your behalf. Because now the lawyer can point those issues out.
Right. No, I get it.
Okay.
So I'm just, I guess I'm just gonna hang out at this jail for a little bit and,
So they're gonna send the information to me, and then I am going to sign it today, and then the clock will start ticking. But I would encourage you to contact your lawyer and let your lawyer know what has happened, so that your lawyer can be in the best position to advocate on your behalf.
Okay, now, situations like this, do you see a time frame of people getting picked up?
If you were told 10 days by somebody in the fugitive squad, I would listen to them. Like I said, I'm a judge. I don't deal with this. Once I sign the paperwork, I sign the documents, I send stuff back. I don't see what happens on the back end. So if someone told you that, you probably can, then can bet on it. But I don't see it. But the people with the fugitive, I understand people in the fugitive squad, they deal with it every day.
No problem. Thank you.
You're welcome. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna try to get in contact. Oh, you can go back, sir. I'm gonna try to get in contact with Mr. Tucker's lawyer, and then we'll bring Mr. Todd up. So give me like maybe 2 minutes.
Okay, Judge.
Okay. Okay, I'm back. Mr. Tucker, can you bring Mr. Tucker up? So, Mr. Tucker, I reached out to your lawyer on the number that's on the state bar, and I got a response that the lawyer could not talk. I called on my cell phone. I'll leave it up to you. The armed robbery is something that I cannot set bond on, regardless of whether your lawyer is here or not. If you want your lawyer to be present, I will continue your case to tomorrow. Excuse me, so the lawyer can be present, or we can just move it along, but I'll leave the choice in your hands. If you need a moment to talk about it, take a break. We'll deal with Mr. Todd. And then do we have the continuance from yesterday, Mr. Bakir?
No, Your Honor.
I'm sorry. I do apologize. He was continued yesterday. He was taken out of first appearance yesterday. And I was asked to have him continue to today. So I'll give you his LE number. I already have a bond set, and it appears to be like he may have some issues.
I'll take the LA number, Judge.
It's 1280376, and I do apologize.
I'll repeat, 1280376.
Yes, sir. So,
Okay.
Mr. Tucker, whatever you want to do, I'll do it. You're either done today and you go back and you can tell your lawyer what happened, or you can go through this process again tomorrow. But I'm telling you, per statute, I cannot set bond on the armed robbery charge.
Thank you, sir. I wouldn't want to proceed with it. I'd rather just go tell my lawyer what happened.
Okay. All right. So we're done with Mr. Tucker. Mr. Tucker can go back.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Mr. Todd?
So, Mr. Todd,
Yes, sir.
I am not of the mind to grant your request. This is, let me see, I'm pulling it up to try to see. I thought you had two charges, right?
It was my TV and simple battery.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
So I'm not, and the reason I'm not of the mind, Mr. Todd,
Yes, sir.
is that, and you may have heard me say this yesterday, what you do with your hands and what you do with your body is what you can control. And half of my calendar is stuff where people are just doing stuff because they can, not because of the consequences that come from it. And so I'm going to leave it the way that is set, because I know you can do better, and I expect you to do better. And there's nothing that anybody can say or do to you to make you act outside of what your character is. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. You're free to go back.
Okay, Judge, we'll try to locate this add-on.
Okay.
I'll be back momentarily.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
No problem. So, hey, deputy. Let me see. Maybe written on one thing. It says he's in 4/301. And from looking at the warrant, I think he may have some mental health issues. Because it's like yelling and screaming at the airport, saying that he's the devil, that kind of stuff. So that's why he may have been pulled out yesterday. I don't ever question your, it wasn't you, but I don't question if you tell me you need to pull somebody out. I don't question that.
Okay. What's his name? You already know, you remember his name?
Last name is Bakr. First name is Sulliman.
Is he medical? That person is on the medical unit, Your Honor.
I pretty much figured that. What I'll do, if you can promise to have him down, I can continue him until tomorrow.
Your Honor, I'll make a note of that, so he's gonna be continued tomorrow.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, Your Honor.
Done for today?
That's it for today, sir.
All right. Thank you for your assistance and your patience, and have a good day.